I've always thought about clothes as another aspect of the visual world that's being created. But with that, I decided to think about that more specifically in garment, how, not necessarily clothes, but how form, or the body form or clothing itself, really does say something, and it's not indirect, actually. It's pretty direct most of the time. So I find that that is one of the curiosities of the piece. I don't think we're solving or necessarily making a political statement about it, but I like the idea of transformation within this world.
The women actually are dressed much more masculine, and the men are dressed more feminine by social standards.
It has sort of this idea of what's normative and what's appropriate for a man or a woman, and throughout the piece we kind of transcend that, and these garments sort of become sexless or not identifiable by gender.
It wasn't us fitting into what the social norms of the clothing would be. It actually became more about us adjusting what we see those items as through our own physicality.
So back to costumes, it's part of the world that's being created, and I don't think it's a mistake. So I've just tried to be as intentional about that process as possible, and know why I'm doing those things. And additionally, I think I'm a really tactile person, and I think that the fabric and the color, and that's all doing something to the audience, whether we know it or not. It's subconsciously doing something to us when we see those elements integrated.
My first, well, I've danced in heels before with Sidra, much higher ones. So it was sort of a relief, I would say, to move to the very small conservative heel. Mikey's familiar of being in heels, but it was sort of a bit of a challenge for Austin. It was new territory for him, so different experiences, but it's definitely something that has to be worked through and is a challenge, because we do fall over, we trip over them, so it just adds a whole other layer of complexity when being on stage.